A look at the Iagon white paper.
Hey guys, it's Hansen of Alan Northpole here representing NBX.com, Norwegian Block Exchange. Today we have a short video about Iagon. Iagon is a Norwegian project or with Norwegian roots that is looking into compute and storage. On Cardano network there's currently another compute and storage provider, at least compute part, and it's going to be Singularity Net. They will probably have some form of compute solution, but as always in any ecosystem, it's great with competition. So we want to have not only one compute provider, we want to have more than one. And Iagon really fits that, and I hope to show you a bit about their white paper in this small video update and why I think it's a cool project. So first of all, Iagon, it aims to be a decentralized storage marketplace and also for marketplace for compute resources. And they will start with storage marketplace and later move on to compute. And as we will see later also, they want to also do NFTs. This is the updated version of the white paper. They had the previous one, but they have now updated it 10th of February 2022. So I think it's good to start with the original background of Iagon. So they started in 2017 in Hamar, Norway, and they were looking at how to control health data. And you will find a general trend in the type of project I really like is either trying to change the world for the better, such as World Mobile and ANP+NBX, or the other type of project I really like is the one that tries to make the user in control of their data. And actually World Mobile is also doing that, but yeah, it's very true. I think this is part of the future. Is like we will have this debate who controls your data, and it will be more and more part of the next web, so 3.0 solutions. Excuse me, that we will have this this control over our own data and who will get access to it. And so being a healthcare data provider, they had to think about storage in GDPR compliance, also in compliance when it comes to security, and how easy it is to make sure you can recreate the data, but not if you're not the one who have access to it. And for example, in Norway, you would have to have sometimes a geographic location of your files, because in Norwegian law, I think there's a law that if you have a personal number with the full digits, it has to be stored in a Norwegian geographic location as well, because it's data that belongs to the Norwegian society. So those types of things they have been thinking about. It started initially as an ERC token, so Iagon is currently an ERC20 token, but as they say, they saw early that Ethereum was having these scaling issues, so they decided to go for Cardano. And I believe they have been waiting on this bridge that Singularity Net is developing for their own AGX token that will become a native Cardano token, but that has taken some time, so I believe they are working also, excuse me again, on this bridge. They will have a two-way bridge between ERC20 and Cardano native token, and they will allow you to move both ways, as they will burn on one side of the bridge to create it on the other side of the bridge. So burning is not always bad. It doesn't have to be to destroy value, to pump up price. It can also be to move a token between two different chains. And yeah, that's the history of Iagon. They're trying to solve this health data, and they moved on from there. And of course then they find that you need the security, data privacy and compliance. And I guess that's an important point. This is a compliance platform. They are not having all types of files stored. For example, we will see later, there's a vetting committee that if you are using the system actively and becoming part of the community, you can actually have a vote if a file is, let's say a file is highly illegal and should not be on any storage providers, even as a shard, because Iagon uses shards. It doesn't use the full file for any single node, But even then, you would not want this file on your system. Then you as a community can vote and it could be removed. And that's, I guess, is part of the compliance. So that is more like ethical consideration. And for me, I don't think we will ever live in this world where there will be no form of compliance. But what we want is for the user and the use case and the freedom to push things forward and the compliance to adapt to it. And I believe that will happen in the crypto sphere as well. So I do believe in some form of compliance, but it has to be adapted to the rules of this new system and what we will see now with cryptocurrencies. And that doesn't mean I don't believe in freedom. I believe in having as many liberties as we can allow ourselves, but history has shown that you have to have some form of rules and governance. That is how we humans actually work together, and you need that. So I am on the compliance side of things. I think it's good, but you should be aware of this. Iagon is a compliance platform, and they're trying to be compliant, for example, to GDPR rules. And you can select as a user, and I guess that's what the main thing is. Like, as long as you can select and the system can adapt, then it's much better than someone putting the rules on you. But if it's a community and you can select, okay, I want to store this in GDPR compliant servers, then that's a user choice, up to you to do. Of course, we don't want centralization, so having sharded nodes is a good thing. And you don't want monetization of data without consent or reward. Again, for me, this is a very good thing, that you have control over your data and can even have some piece of the pie, because data is used for incredibly many things in advertisements, in specific targeting and profiling, and it's used for so many things to create value, and you as a user should be in control of that and decide yourself what you want. So I think it's good if this Iagon platform is trying to make you more in control of that. And of course, they want to have cost of storage to go down and save compute and environmental impact. I have had some chat with the Iagon community, and they seem they will have like this is just I'm speculating, but I believe they will have some form of NFT that will allow you to also see, like, let's say you're using renewable energy. We will see how this evolves, but clearly they are environmental conscious. For example, I believe they are greatly integrated in Cardano ecosystem, ethos of trying to make the world better. They donated to Veritree during the Cardano summit, and they are trying to make a positive environmental impact. And by having these decentralized storage solutions that can actually utilize resources that's already there better, I guess that is environmental friendly in itself. So when it comes to this high-level architecture, I think this is a better picture of it. Basically, we have this market or this connector of the marketplaces, Adagio. It's a rewards DAO, and resource providers commit storage, claim rewards. In the storage exchange, you can buy storage, and it's sold from the Adagio connector, and the fees from this goes to the resource provider, to the Iagon holders, and the Iagon ecosystem fund. Rewards are locked up at least until the end of the commitment. One commitment is at least 1 month, I believe. And because some of the rewards for the research providers will also be in stable coins, you will have to create some form of yield, and they have collaborated. For example, they're partnering with Genius Yield, and they will provide some liquidity. And so clearly you can see that the Iagon token will have some value if this system is adopted and people will use this as a way to provide resources or buy resources. Then the Iagon token would appreciate in value more than likely. And it will be both on Ethereum or Cardano liquidity pools. So that's interesting as well. So it's not only the Iagon token, I guess. We will see more about this in the future. Yeah, and this is called different things in the white paper. So Adagio is the connector, and interesting, they're using NFTs to make commitments. It's sort of like a contract NFT, I guess. And as the storage provider, you will have this network performance explorer tracking your performance as a storage provider. I guess if you compare it to like a regular proof of staking, and if you will stake your Iagon tokens, here you will have proof of staking plus with having performance metrics for your rewards, but also I guess like some form of reputation system. So proof of staking and reputation, and that's interesting. It's something I have explored myself in my own thinkings about these systems, and I would like to see this implemented to see how it works, if it has merit. So yeah, that's cool. Um, and yeah, you can have these rewards in stablecoins or in Iagon tokens. And your reward will also be multiplied by a performance multiplier for a storage provider, I assume. And then you can also get dividends when you lock up these rewards. So if you lock it up for 1 month, and I guess maybe there's higher rewards and interest upon interest if you lock it for a longer period. Formatio is the interface for the website, for the consumer, so uploading files, calculating storage requirement, contacting the network performance explorer. Maybe it will list up different nodes, and the files will be sharded, so it will be spread out across many nodes. And also very cool is that you will select compliant storage nodes. So as a customer, you can say, okay, I need to have this file store in Norway, I need to have this file store in Europe, I need to have this file store in Asia, or I need to have this files GDPR compliant, or maybe some other form of metrics in the future. And you as a customer can do that. That's still supporting decentralization because it's still a group you are targeting, and it's not a specific person, and the files will be spread out across this network. And I believe it will be interesting to see this network performance explorer. Will it visualize this? Will you see where is the nodes? How would you pick this? Would you just select I want in Norway and it will be handled behind the scenes, randomly picked among those nodes? Or can you pick based on performance? It will be interesting to see. And Rubato is the storage marketplace, so it's a connector between Adagio and the storage provider, I guess. And here you calculate trading rates. And I guess one feature is that when you provide the storage, you will have a price immediately for that period. I guess it will be interesting to see, like, if you commit storage for 1 month, would you already have the price what you will earn for that 1 month if someone buys and commits to that storage? It will be interesting to see how that will work. And they are already offering like a dynamic and a static price model, so they will have enterprise providers, and these enterprise providers will have a fixed price for their storage. But you as a retail storage provider, I might double into this and try to see if I can provide storage. As you may know, Ada and Nord Pool have quite a lot of storage. You can try then to dynamically have a lower price, be competitive under this price floor of the enterprise. Or for example, if a user wants something you have that this enterprise customer doesn't have, let's say you have a specific geographic location that the customer wants, then you could perhaps offer a bigger price. And perhaps some customers would like to support some decentralized node instead of enterprise customer. Who knows? It will be interesting to see how it plays out. But I like that you have the option. You have this price floor. You can't really go higher than that because the enterprise provider will already set the standard, sort of, most likely. And it will be, of course, price pressure downwards as storage gets cheaper and more people compete on the platform. So it will, in the end, be very efficiently priced, more than likely. And they, of course, have a lot of focus on security, as they started with health data. And this is a good point with sharding, is that it's of course secure because you can't recreate the data based on a few shards. You need more than a few shards to recreate the file, and it's only the user in control of the data who can do that. And it reduces the risk of data loss because you can lose some of the shards, but there's built-in redundancy. And of course, it also increases download speed because you will not have one connection to a single node, you will have multiple connections to multiple nodes and get parts of the file from each one of them. And they use a distributed hash table to have control over this. And it's a modified version of the interplanetary file system. So that's the underlying storage network technology. But they have their own market platform, Adagio, and they have this use of NFTs that's I find interesting, and especially how they track GDPR compliance and track other compliance and selection from the customer. That's, I believe, I've not seen that in others recently successful storage providers. Yeah, and as a user, you can upload a file, retrieve the file, you can remove it yourself, of course, but more importantly, you can also check your file, because as this network improves, nodes come and go, you will want to check how are your files doing. I hope this will be visual, that you can see like, oh, here's the geographic excuse me, distribution of all of the shards, what's the performance of the nodes when I retrieve it, and stuff like that. It would be really cool if you can check like that, maybe built in checks like once every month, stuff like that. And that's an important point. It's not just when you upload a file and it's static at that point. You want to keep it healthy after also. And as I said, they will have this cross-chain bridge, and in the future they plan to do cloud computing, as I mentioned, and it will also have some performance metrics. It will be interesting to see how will they calculate trustability, for example. Availability is of course easier, and the same with uptime and performance. There will be transaction fees and paid out in ADA, and that's for the computational fees, I guess. Yeah, and there will be a commission fee for each transaction, and it's split between the Adagio and the Iagon stakers. So Iagon clearly has some value. You can earn rewards through staking, for example in the company's ADA staking pool. So you can stake your tokens, Iagon tokens, it seems, in the company's ADA staking pool to earn additional rewards. This will be interesting to watch unfold, what they mean with this. Earn portion of the transaction fees. So just by having Iagon tokens, you're part of the network, you will get some of the transaction fees percentage as an Iagon holder. It will be used as an incentivize for storage provider. If they do well, they will be paid out for well-performing performance, and it will fund the further development of the system. And I guess if you have this treasury, then you will have some form of governance as well. That makes sense. So we will see how that will work. So Agora, the protocol will also have this reputation system, and when you upload a file, for example, if it's flagged as inappropriate, then you will have a lower reputation. If the file is not flagged, then you will have a higher reputation. You can, if you keep a file for a certain period, you will have an increased file. So basically, if you use the system more, you will have increased reputation score. And if you remove it before that period passed, the system decrease your reputation score. And I guess you can, you're encouraged to have engagements. You can vote the flag as inappropriate, and you will then earn points. And if it there's some form of detection method here, so coordinated downward upwards, then you will instead be penalized. That will definitely be interesting to see how it works. And in general, you will be rewarded with Iagon tokens for any legitimate operations. Oh my god, I can't speak today. Yeah, you know what I mean. And the vetting committee is basically if you have a high Agora reputation score, then you can join this vetting committee, and you will then be able to vote on such as removal of files or returning a file from a quarantine if it's been flagged. And if you're part of this committee, you will also earn Iagon tokens. And they plan to have a NFT platform. It makes a lot of sense if they're going to use NFTs for contracts, for performance tracking. Maybe in the future it will be tied to identity, and in the future, of course, if you're a storage provider, you can then have your NFTs stored on your own platform, and then it makes sense to have a NFT marketplace as well. And yeah, they are definitely into NFTs because they are arguing that you can have this immutability and it can be still indestructible, but you can still have evolvement of it. And we see this already in Cardano in, for example, hype skulls. You have this evaporate that you can connect evaporate to a hype skull, and it becomes a new version, a new NFT with this evaporated hype skull. And basically this will be the same, like you can have an NFT, the original, and then you can improve. You still have the original NFT, it's still immutable, but you will still have an evolved version as well. So for this you can use NFTs for a lot of things. It could be a contract, it can become a history, it can become a ticket, it can that has a history over time. It can be a lot of things. So they will have an NFT as a pointer to a storage on the Iagon protocol, and then they can have this evolving NFT. So that's very interesting as well. Currently they are in testing, and I believe they will soon be testing the node software itself. That is why I found it timely to talk about Iagon in this video, and I'm definitely looking forward to that. And as always, I hope you like my videos. I try to focus on things that is good for the ecosystem, that maybe sometimes is not so well known in the ecosystem, such as with Iagon. And also I try to look at it from the roadmaps, from the white papers, and really try to dig into it with my own commentary. So if you like the video, let me know. If you dislike it, let me know. I'm always trying to improve. And as always, I hope you will consider staking with my staking pool. The ticker is ANP. And yeah, look forward for more from NBX. We are working hard on doing staking solutions and rewarding. We currently have a promo because we really love World Mobile Token, and we are rewarding stakers or delegators to us who with World Mobile tokens as well. And you can check that out on our webpage, alanorpro.com, and under guides, there's a guide for the vending machine. That's a way to claim this World Mobile token rewards. And currently it's quite good rewards, so check that out. Okay, that's all from me from this time. Bye.